Hi, friends and family. I just want to thank you so much for coming over for dinner tonight and just taking time out of your schedule to be here and enjoy some quality time with each other before the summer ends. Tonight, I will be sharing with you one of my most embarrassing moments. I must say, I'm glad that we are done eating because after this, you might not be feeling too well. So I will start with giving you a little bit background. So my family has always been involved with going over to Uganda, Africa, and serving over there with a ministry called Come Let's Dance. It's a nonprofit organization, and they started schools and medical clinics, and they have their own farm and started a sew shop. And so it's always been a huge part of my life and has made such an impact on my family. And as a school, when I was in high school, they decided to organize a trip to go to Come Let's Dance in Uganda, Africa. And of course, I was so excited to go. And so I signed up and took full advantage of my school going over there and being able to be with my friends and experience that. And so I felt pretty confident going in because I knew what to expect and everything, but it ended up being a little bit different of a trip than it usually was. So when we first got there, we were able to kind of see all of the organization, and we stayed at the base camp and went and served at the school and went to the farm and did medical clinics down in the Katanga slums. So it was just a really neat experience to be with my classmates and just grow in that together. And then we also had the amazing opportunity to raft the Nile River. And at first I was pretty hesitant just because I have a lot of fear in me. So I got pretty nervous to do that, but ended up being probably one of the best experiences of my life. And I'm so glad I did that. But while I was rafting, we flipped a lot. And so I was under the water a lot. And if you have been abroad, you know that anywhere you go, it's encouraged to drink the bottled water just because you're not sure of just what's in the water. And it's normally not as clean as we have it here. So I intook a lot of water and felt fine the rest of the night, and it was a great experience. But the next morning, we woke up pretty early to head to Rwanda to go to the sites of the Rwandan genocide of the war that was there and kind of get a little bit of a history and just remember those who lost their life during this. And so we went over there, and it was such a neat experience. But while on the way, I just started feeling continually worse and worse, and my stomach started bugging me a little bit more. And we all loaded up in a pretty large taxi, so there wasn't a ton of room for all of us that were on the trip. And I just started feeling worse and worse, and we were confined, and there wasn't air conditioning, so it was pretty stuffy, and I just was not feeling well. And this is the first time I didn't feel well in Uganda before, so, and even traveling abroad. So I got pretty nervous and didn't really know what I was feeling. But while we were going, we ended up getting closer to the site that we were staying at for the night, and we were going over a lot of speed bumps and pretty large ones, and then they were like three in a row that were smaller. And that bump really made me feel sick. And so I decided it would be smart to sit by the window. And then finally it hit me, and I had to open the window, and I just threw up everywhere. And my teacher, who was behind me, had his arm out the window while I was throwing up and happened to get my throw up all over his arm. And it was very embarrassing, and everyone on the bus, I think, knew that I threw up. And so my teacher was cleaning himself off with his bandana that he brought, and then handed it to me and just was trying to clean up myself. But it was definitely a memorable trip, and it goes down as one of my most embarrassing moments. Thank you for listening, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your night. Thanks.